The main opposition party of South Africa, the Democratic Alliance, DA, recently traveled to the U.S. to provide President Donald Trump's administration with accurate facts. The goal of this project is to protect South Africa's involvement in the African Growth and Opportunity Act, AGOA, a crucial trade deal that is presently in jeopardy because of rising diplomatic tensions. Please kindly subscribe to our channel, turn on the notification bell so as to get all our updates. AGOA was created in 2000 to provide duty-free access to the U.S. market for a variety of goods to qualifying sub-Saharan African nations, including South Africa. South Africa's export industries, especially those in manufacturing and agriculture, have benefited greatly from this preferential trade framework, sustaining thousands of jobs and making a substantial economic contribution to the country. Recent events have raised doubts about South Africa's ability to continue receiving AGOA benefits. President Trump's administration has voiced reservations about South Africa's foreign and domestic policy. Notably, the United States has frozen funding to South Africa because it believes that the statute allowing land expropriation without compensation is discriminatory against the white minority. Relationship tensions have also increased as a result of South Africa's legal activities against Israel at the International Court of Justice, for which the United States has threatened to withdraw AGOA rights. The DA has aggressively contacted U.S. stakeholders to promote South Africa's continued participation in the AGOA framework in response to these obstacles. The party presented the U.S. Trade Representative with a thorough argument that emphasized South Africa's adherence to AGOA's eligibility requirements and the advantages of ongoing participation for both parties. In addition, the DA has worked to get a seat at the next AGOA Summit so that it may discuss its plans for future commerce between the U.S. and South Africa. At the same time, a high-level delegation from the South African government, headed by Minister of Trade, Industry, and Competition Ebrahim Patel, has been sent to Washington, D.C. in order to address concerns and advocate for the continuance of AGOA advantages. This delegation intends to interact with U.S. politicians and authorities. South Africa's economy is seriously threatened by the possible loss of AGOA benefits, especially the industrial and agricultural industries that mostly depend on duty-free access to the U.S. market. The success of these diplomatic initiatives will have a significant impact on the future of South Africa's economy. Increased taxes on South African exports might follow from the termination of AGOA incentives, which would reduce their competitiveness in the U.S. market and perhaps cause job losses. The goal of the DA emphasizes how crucial it is to resolve U.S. concerns and strengthen bilateral ties in order to guarantee the continuation of AGOA's advantages. Stakeholders from a wide range of political and economic backgrounds are keeping a close eye on the issue because they understand that the country's trade policies and diplomatic interactions will be crucial in determining how its economy develops in the face of these obstacles. Once more, the Democratic Alliance, DA, has made a daring diplomatic move by starting a week-long working tour to the U.S., establishing itself as a reliable spokesperson for South Africa's interests abroad. The party's plan to improve ties with other countries and make sure South Africa's opinion is heard in influential political and economic circles includes the visit. The DA is taking advantage of this chance to interact with U.S. politicians, corporate executives, and policy think tanks as a member of the governing government of national unity, GNU, delivering a powerful message that South Africa is open to business and dedicated to preserving democratic ideals. DA officials have highlighted trade alliances, economic expansion, and South Africa's place in world geopolitics during the tour. The DA wants to convince foreign stakeholders that stability and advancement are at the top of the GNU's agenda, given the nation's economic difficulties, power struggles, and governance issues. Back home, this action has generated discussion as some wonder whether the DA's outreach is consistent with South Africa's larger diplomatic approach. Nonetheless, proponents contend that attracting foreign investment, creating jobs, and forging closer international ties all depend on aggressive global involvement. The DA's journey to the U.S. highlights its desire to influence important decision-making processes and mold South Africa's foreign policy as the political environment changes in the wake of the election. It is unclear whether this journey will result in real advantages for South Africans. But one thing is for sure. The DA is working to ensure that its voice in South Africa's interests.